Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, and like I said, I'm giving y'all something new. Y'all make sure y'all watch my Tory Lanez video on why I believe Tory Lanez did not snitch and what the outcome of that is going to be. But what I have here, like I said, I'm in between whether I'm choosing to call this famous people problems or celebrity-ish. We're going to call it celebrity-ish for now. But in another episode of Celebrity-ish, I want to talk about the Sinners movie and Michael B. Jordan and men, but more specifically, black men in Hollywood, and why it's likely that Michael B. Jordan will be doing his first gay scenes in whatever movies over the next 2 years, right? After winning an Oscar for Sinners, okay? This video is going to be a banger. Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Without further ado, let's get to it now. I'm not going to give y'all a review of Sinners. I thought about it. I thought about that being my first movie review. But I was concentrating on Power. And to be honest, I was being a little bit lazy. I will do better for y'all. I'm going to give y'all movie reviews if y'all want it. But if you've seen Sinners, there's not a lot that needs to be said as far as the quality of the movie. Now, I personally feel like it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Not just horrors, but just movies, period. For the fact that they were able to kind of do the inclusive DEI thing without oversaturating it and making it feel out of place. For the fact that they were able to include a history of black music, right? And incorporate it in a way that made it seem fresh. For the way that it was a whole other movie, the first half of the movie, until it became a horror. And that if they focus on horror for the entire movie, or they focused on the crime drama part, and these were two different movies separately, they still would have been great movies. We all know that if you've seen Sinners, that it's a great movie. That goes without being said. But now we got to talk about black men in Hollywood. And why it's very likely that even though it's going to disappoint some people, that Michael B. Jordan is likely to do some of his first guy-on-guy scenes, even if it's subtle, even if it's just a tap kiss, even if it's, you know, he's in the locker room and they show his bare behind and the man slaps his booty. You know, like, it's very likely that after he wins during award season for Sinners, because so far it's the best movie of the year and we're already halfway through the year. What other movies are really slated to come out that might be better than Sinners? Don't know. Black movies especially, don't know, right? And the way they talking about Sinners, it's the best movie of the year, including all genres, right? But when we're talking about black men in cinema, y'all know how it is. At some point, they try to put every black man in a dress. It's happened many times, okay? They made Kevin Hart do it on Saturday Night Live. Y'all know what happened with Will Smith in 6 Degrees of Separation, where it's like they put him in a dress or they have him do a guy-on-guy scene, right? And it's not just black men, even though we're specifying black men right now, right? Because what disappointed me, man, a movie that I'll never see, but I seen like a preview of, or like a scene on YouTube, is with, you know, the guy who plays Spider-Man, right? What is he, Australian? And that he recently was in a movie and, you know, he getting his back blown out by some black dude. Like, they make all men do it at some point. And for some reason, once they do that, they supposed to get all this acclaim and everything, right? They make all men do it. But for some reason, you really notice it even more with black men, you know. Of course, Jamie Foxx been in a dress. Of course, even up until recently, we thought Denzel would be the only one who would be untouched, pun intended. But now we know with the release of Gladiator 2, Denzel kissed a man in the mouth. They just didn't put it in the movie. And the reason why they didn't put it in the movie is probably because with all the things that are being complained about within cinema these days, they're saying that it's an oversaturation of, the guy-on-guy stuff, right? Personally, if you ask me, there's definitely just way too much male booty, way too much male member, right? Way too much male yangs being seen, period. Like at least if you're gonna give me a male booty, right, in the episode, can I get a female booty too? Right? Why is it that they show the male's member, right? Head, shaft, and all, but we don't never see the vajayjay? Why we can't see the poontang too? Like, this lets me think that there's a conspiracy, right? But I'm not here to be a conspiracy nut. What I'm saying is that Michael B. Jordan has not been touched so far. I've seen several movies that Michael B. Jordan has been in, and he's either been a nerd or he's been very, very masculine in all of his movies. However, there may be signs that there will be changes in regards to Michael B. Jordan's movie roles. And it's going to be covered as, yeah, man, he just going to get his thespian on. He wants to develop as an actor and you know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. But do y'all remember when Creed 3 is about to come out? And not only did Jonathan Majors was on the cover of Ebony magazine and he was wearing questionable attire, but also him and Michael B. Jordan had those very weird pictures where these two big, strong, muscular, masculine men were just very intimate with each other in the pictures and rubbing their faces together, and y'all remember that, right? A couple years back, before Jonathan Majors ruined his career by dealing with that white woman, right? Maybe that was already the beginning of it, man. Right? What I'm telling y'all is that after Michael B. Jordan maybe even sweeps everything that Sinners is nominated for, right? The very next major movie that he's in, or one or two of the major movies that he's in between now and 2028, we are very likely to see him be in a guy-on-guy scene. Why? Because that's just part of paying dues. That's just part of paying dues. You become successful, you get some accolades, you do a guy-on-guy scene, right? You simulate getting your back busted out, or you kiss a guy on the mouth, or maybe there's a scene where, he getting felt up on by a guy, or he's buying one of these movies. It's very, very possible, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God gifted. That's touch my ink. That's on the dome, nigga.